During my hospital recovery, I pretended to be asleep as my mother whispered to my sibling by the bed, "Just mix it in a cup, and that's all. No one will know." I opened my eyes, and they grinned, acting as if I'd heard nothing. 3 days later, fate caught up with them. I've never been one to pause. Not in work, not in life. If pain strikes, I push through. That mindset carried me for 34 years. At 25, I launched a shipping firm from my garage, expanding to 1 storage unit, then 2, then 5. Now I employ dozens, with clients writing checks heavy with zeros. But no ambition can stop an appendix from rupturing on a random Tuesday. The agony felt like claws tearing inward. I delayed seeing a doctor. On the operating table, things went wrong. The surgeon admitted they'd nicked a vessel. I'd lost too much blood. A 1-day stay became 6. Mom visited more than usual. Odd, since she despises hospitals. "They reek of grief," she'd say. Yet she arrived daily, bringing unrequested items, observing me like a ledger. Her gaze wasn't worry, it was assessment. My younger brother Leo came twice. He never shows up unprompted. Mom's favorite? I built empires. But Leo could do no wrong by existing. Months before the surgery, I'd joked about an early death. "If I'm gone tomorrow, the company's yours." She'd replied instantly, "If you die young, it's ours anyway, right?" Her smile was light, but the words lingered. On the 3rd night, feigning sleep, I heard her enter. Her voice floated from the bed's end. "Just pour it in the glass." Simple. My gut twisted before my mind understood. Leo hesitated. "But he's still your son." She answered coldly, "1 son more, 1 son less." I opened my eyes. They smiled blandly. Mom offered me the same glass, asking how I felt. I requested water, held the cup, and didn't drink. They chatted about the garden, a neighbor's arrest, normalcy over venom. Discharged, I avoided home. A quiet hotel became my base. I reviewed the clues. Mom's sudden interest in future plans, Leo's questions about company logins. That whisper, "1 son more, 1 son less," wasn't a slip. It was a blueprint. I called allies, my lawyer, security experts. Documents revealed their prep work, signed papers, backdoor maneuvers. They weren't just waiting for my death. They were accelerating it. At home, tension hung thick. Leo lounged, ignoring me. Mom oozed faux sweetness. Leo and I discussed the business, contingencies, you know? Her mask slipped. Updating the will, keeping it in the family. My blood iced over. I played along but mobilized. My attorney locked down assets. A friend uncovered Leo's attempt to wire $50,000 from the company account, logged in from his laptop while I fought for life. Security footage showed Mom and Leo snooping in my office. I planted a recorder. That night, I heard Mom's call. "Jacob's resilient. We must be cautious." Leo wavered. "Do we have to?" She snapped. No turning back. Day 3. I severed their access, bank accounts, emails, even Leo's company car repo. Mom stormed a warehouse ranting about Russian brainwashing. Leo begged at my gate. It was Mom's idea. Help me. My final move? A $100,000 donation in their names to a financial abuse charity. Publicized. They'd aimed for my legacy. Now theirs funds the people they sought to exploit. Justice, not vengeance. And it's sweeter. The days that followed were a quiet storm. My mother, Judith, and Leo scrambled like ants whose hill had been crushed. Emails poured in, pleas, threats, then hollow apologies. I ignored them all. The company's lawyers had already sent formal notices. Any further contact would be considered harassment. By the end of the week, the news of their disownment spread through our circles. Friends and extended family took sides, but I didn't care. The ones who mattered knew the truth, or at least they knew better than to ask. Then came the final blow. A month later, I received a call from the charity I donated to in their names. They wanted to feature the story in their annual gala, anonymously, if I preferred. I declined anonymity. Use their names. Let it be known. The night of the event, Judith and Leo were seated at a back table, uninvited but unable to resist seeing the damage firsthand. The CEO took the stage, praising the generous contribution from the Monroe family, highlighting how it would help survivors of financial betrayal. The audience applauded. Judith's face was stone. Leo stared at his hands. I wasn't there. I didn't need to be. Years later, I still run the company. Bigger now, stronger. Judith lives off the remnants of her savings, occasionally reaching out with half-hearted holiday messages. Leo drifted. Odd jobs, burned bridges, the usual fallout of a man who never learned to stand on his own. Sometimes people ask if I regret it, if cutting them out was too harsh. But then I remember the glass of water in that hospital room, the way my own mother watched, waiting. No, I don't regret it. I just sleep with one eye open. 5 years had passed since that decisive night when I played the recording that shattered my family. The company had flourished beyond expectation, expanding internationally with warehouses now spanning 3 continents. Yet success, I'd learned, was a lonely companion. The unexpected call. On a rainy Tuesday evening, my assistant buzzed in. "Mr. Monroe, there's a call from Dr. Evans at Cedar Ridge Medical Center. He says it's about your mother." My fingers froze over the keyboard. Judith had been out of my life since the fallout, her name nothing more than a footnote in legal documents. I took the call. "Your mother was admitted last night," Dr. Evans explained. "Early-stage dementia, but there's more. She's been asking for you, insists she has something critical to share." I almost laughed. Another scheme? A final play for sympathy? But curiosity, that relentless beast, won out. The hospital visit. Cedar Ridge smelled like antiseptic and wilted flowers. Judith looked smaller, her once sharp eyes now clouded. When she saw me, her hand trembled. "Jacob." Her voice was paper thin. "I didn't think you'd come. You said it was important." She hesitated, then gestured to the nightstand drawer. Inside lay a faded envelope addressed to me in her handwriting. "I wrote this the day after you. After everything. Never had the courage to send it." I opened it. 2 lines stared back. The glass was just salt water. We never would have gone through with it. But you were right to leave. I would have destroyed you slowly instead. The room tilted. All those years of rage, of meticulously planned revenge, over a threat that was never real. Leo's confession. I tracked Leo down to a dingy apartment on the city's outskirts. He was thinner, a half-empty bottle on the table. "Salt water?" I demanded. He barked a laugh. "Mom's grand test. She wanted to see if you'd fight or fold. But you nuked us from orbit." His smile faded. "For what it's worth, I'm glad you won. The truth changes nothing." I stood at Judith's grave 6 months later. Pneumonia, the doctor said. The mind goes, the body follows. The charity donation plaque bearing her name gleamed in the sunlight. People assume closure comes with understanding. They're wrong. The truth doesn't absolve. It simply reshapes the wound. I still keep the company locked tight. Still sleep with one eye open. Because the cruelest lesson wasn't their betrayal. It was realizing I'd inherited Judith's brilliance for preemptive strikes. And unlike her, I'd never hesitate to follow through. If you enjoyed this story and felt the emotions behind it, don't forget to give it a like, share it with others, and subscribe to the channel for more real-life experiences and heartfelt stories. Your support means the world, and it helps us bring more content like this to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.